Well, welcome to another episode of United Way, the Midlands Century of Service podcast. And I am really pleased today to welcome somebody who has literally been making us here in the Midlands look our best and feel our best. And that is Perry Lancaster from Brittons of Columbia. Perry, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
I am excited to have you here. United Way, the Midlands is celebrating our 100th anniversary, and you have just celebrated your 50th anniversary at Brittons. So congratulations on that milestone.
Well, thank you.
So I have to ask you this. I have always wondered, how many suits and ties do you have in your closet at home?
Right now, I believe I have about 25 suits and probably about 40 ties.
Only 40 ties?
Only 40 ties.
Wow.
When I'm kind of, could I say I've done my service with my ties, I donate them.
Got it. Very good. Where do you tend to donate them?
Right now, I'm donating to EMS Closet, which is a organization that works out of St. John's Episcopal Church on Wheat Street. Mm-hmm. And they work along with students at Richland 1 to help them enhance their wardrobe.
Excellent.
And also in the past years, which I'm going back around 15 years ago, I worked along with a great person by the name of Stacy Atkinson.
Mm-hmm. I know Stacy well. She's a good friend of ours.
DJJ, and I went behind the wall, and a company of mine donated 100 ties.
Wow.
And I did a segment with them, and it was an amazing experience to go behind the wall and help her with a etiquette and also how to tie a tie.
You know, there is something to be said, I think, for, you don't want to be overly proud about it, but there is something about knowing that you look good. It gives you, and giving somebody a sense of dignity, of personal dignity. And I think that's great that you have consistently done that, because giving somebody that sense of dignity and pride, and I think it makes them hold their head up a little bit higher when they walk in a room.
Yeah, and it also gives them the self-esteem of their life.
Yes.
I always remember, helping a college student, helping a high school student, their first navy blazer, their first tie, their first khaki pant, their first bow tie. I mean, it's just, one thing of that, just helping them with their lives.
Yeah.
Achieve. It could be from a job interview to going to homecoming for high school, University of South Carolina, just a job promotion. I mean, it's just keep going.
That's right. Well, and when you opened the Divine Street location that we all know today in 1996, you had a relationship that actually started with the law school along those lines.
Yeah,
Can you tell us about that?
So I had a customer come in my store, a lawyer in this town, and his name is Brian, and he's in the mirror buying a suit, and he says, y'all have just moved to Divine Street. You need to connect with the law school. And he said, you need to find this person. You need to go tomorrow and meet Joanne. So I went. Next morning, not knowing anybody, going to law school, and I asked for Joanne. Well, I met Joanne, and Joanne says, y'all have just come to Divine Street. Let's cross market. I said, what do you mean by cross market? She says, well, there's 750 mailboxes, just good old mailboxes, just where you can put a slot in. And she said, why don't you market the store? I said, well, that's great. What? Give me an idea. She said, well, just let them know about you. So I printed a flyer up, the perfect navy blazer. So I'd go stuff 750 boxes. That's how I started my business with that.
Wow.
So
now the store has been through actually fashion in general has been through a lot since 1975.
Yes. Well, when I joined the company in 1975, we were with two locations. We were at 1337 Main Street, and we were at Dutch Square. Well, to speed it up, we opened a store at Richland Mall in 1976, Columbia Mall in 1979, and to speed it up even more, we closed two stores. We closed Richland Mall because the mall was changing and was being bought out, and just the whole thing was changing. Columbia Mall was changing, so we closed 2 stores within a year. We narrowed to 2 stores. We narrowed to downtown, and we narrowed to Dutch Square. Well, downtown kind of faltered, and we moved just to Dutch Square in 1991. And in 1996, we moved from Dutch Square. I know the date, and got married the same weekend.
Oh, gosh.
And
that was a busy weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Busy weekend. April the 28th of 1996. And on May the 3rd of 1996, we moved to Devine Street, which is our current location at 2818 Devine Street. That has been the best location we have ever had in our us having stores. It's an amazing store.
What's made that location so good?
Well, it's kind of the center part of Columbia. We're nestled in between the Shandon historic neighborhood. We're close to Heathwood. We're close to kind of the center part of the city. But where we're really located is I'm 2 miles from the University of South Carolina. Mm-hmm. And just being to connect with the university, starting with the law school, just working in that area. Then continuing it with working along with the university from the business school, Dollar Moore School of Business, to working with athletics. Mm-hmm. I've been dressing football coaches for 20 years. I started with Lou Holtz. Then I started dressing Steve Spurrier, Will Muschamp, and now currently Shane Beamer. So that's been an amazing experience.
Who's been the best dressed coach?
I would have to say Shane Beamer.
Okay.
Yeah, Shane
He
Beamer.
does always look good. You make him look real good.
Yeah.
And you also dressed Todd Ellis.
Yes, I dressed the voice of the Gamecocks, Todd Ellis.
And Todd was on this podcast a few weeks ago, and he and Tommy Suggs together, we had a good time.
Yeah.
We had a good time.
Yeah.
So one of the things that you are known for is personal relationships and developing personal relationships, particularly an art that I think is getting lost, and that's the art of the personal note.
Yeah.
Many of our viewers, I know, have gotten personal notes from you. I have gotten many over the years.
Yeah.
How did you start that, and why do you still do it?
Well, I mean, you gotta, in the world of retail, the world of business, the world of everything, you have to do something to separate yourself. Mm-hmm. And Just a Note is separating yourself. I just started it at a very young age. I mean, was there a particular time I started it? Not really, but I mean, I've really come in the last, let's say, since we have been on Devine Street, 29 years, I would say that's been the strongest point, is Just a Note.
What is, people who write notes tend to also receive notes.
Yeah.
When you receive that personal note, it's
right.
like, ooh, I need to, this is great, I need to do this for somebody else.
Yeah.
So what are some of the memorable notes that you've gotten over the years that really kind of touched you?
Well, I got a note from Paul Dietzel.
Okay.
He wrote me. I met him at a USC event when I went to the legendary coach dinner, mm-hmm. and I got a personal note from him. Mm-hmm. That's one of my notes. I got a note actually just from Joanne. Just got it Friday.
Tell us a little bit about that note.
Just how, I haven't seen her, and she's retired. She went to the University of Notre Dame. She'll flat let you know that she went to Notre Dame. And she retired around 12 years ago. How she was the student, could I say, affairs connector. Okay. But she was the mom of the University Law School. Okay. And just getting a note that I haven't seen her in 12 years mm-hmm. is amazing.
Yeah.
To get a note from somebody that far. She saw that I was written up on the front page of the Columbia Star, mm-hmm. and that's why she wrote me the note. But, just a connection like that.
Yeah.
And of course, you're exactly right. I turned right back around on Friday afternoon or Friday night, and I wrote her a note.
I bet you did.
Joanne, so great to hear from you,
Yeah.
Nice to hear from you,
Yeah.
That's. So you're correct, Sarah, on that. When you receive a note, you also want to send a note.
You do.
You want to send a note.
Yeah.
One thing that I have seen also is just the connections from sending a sympathy card to send a congratulations card, to just letting people know that you have concern and you care.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So that's another major thing that I really enjoy.
And I think too, in this day and age where everything is kind of instantaneous, it hits our screen and then it goes away.
Yeah.
A note, a birthday card, I'm thinking about you,
Right.
a thank you for coming to Brittons. That's something that you can keep.
Yeah.
You know, and can really mean a lot, especially if you're a words person like me. I love words.
Yeah.
I love words. I know that for you, it's all about the customer experience.
Mm-hmm.
And when you walk into Brittons, it's an experience.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. So what does good service, what does a good customer experience mean to you?
Taking care of the customer in so many different ways. I mean, I had a person walk in just this Saturday, Saturday afternoon. I was referred to you by a neighbor. I'm going to an event tonight at the Cougar Center. I need a pair of pants hemmed, and I need a shirt, and I need a tie. No problem. Take care of it. Do it.
And they walked out with what they needed.
Exactly. You know, they came back 2 hours later, but I mean, that's just, I mean, I can't do that every hour, but, you know, that's just an experience that will send a positive message for him that he went out that night with his wife to dinner and went out to theater and had a great time. You know, it's just, you know, that's just one of the many experiences. And it's just from meeting a customer early before hours, meeting them after hours. It's just, you know, when you run a family business, you run a specialty store. You exactly right. You have a store where you specialize in an experience.
Yeah.
And when we work as an experience, that's what we do. We have hand-tied bows on our packages. That is just a lost art. To get a red box with a hand-tied bow on it. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just that is our signature. That's part of our signature.
It is.
Another thing that's our signature, which is getting ready to happen in about 14 days, is we decorate, and our store is so displayed for Christmas. I have 8 Christmas trees in that store. I have both. No, do I do it? No, I do not do it.
That was good. No,
no, I don't
Stacy
do
it.
Yeah, Stacy and her team. But you know, it's just an experience to walk in to a store. You know, the music playing. You know, just different things. Another thing I want to touch on is how we are involved with the University of South Carolina School of Music. Mm-hmm. It has been an amazing, amazing experience working along with the USC band.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just unbelievable what we have. I mean, what we've done and what we have accomplished, and we're still accomplishing it right now.
Oh, for sure. They are such a talented group of young people.
Yeah.
And I am always amazed at what they can do.
Yeah.
You know, and they're now representing us around the world.
Right.
You know, they're going to London next year.
Mm-hmm.
They've been in Macy's. They've been, you know, in just about every kind of venue you can think.
Yeah.
So
But,
we're all very, very proud of them.
Touching on that is just connecting. I'll make it kind of quick on this, but also kind of give you the background story. So we were at a tailgate 3 years ago. My wife and I, Stacy, were at a tailgate. And she runs into a mutual customer, has been in our store, hadn't been in the store in a couple of years. Mm-hmm. And this customer approaches Stacy and said, you know, it's the 100th anniversary of the USC School of Music, the band next year. Would you make a donation? You know, mm-hmm. And Stacy said, no, this is November, right? It was the Tennessee game, which we won. And he approached Stacy and said, you know, would you make a donation? And Stacy said, I'll even do better. I'll throw a party for you next spring, the weekend of the spring football game in April, and we'll have a band. We'll have a party. So I named it literally on the way home that night, Brittons Bands Together. So we had a party. We had different giving levels, from a $20 giving level all the way to $500. And you say, well, $500, wow. So we would give different discounts, you know, different levels and everything. But for $500, you were actually, as a customer, you were giving a scholarship siphon for for that individual, that
wow.
that student at the
Okay.
University of South Carolina.
Yeah.
And so we did quite a bit of that, and so we raised around about $5,600. And I said, wow, this is amazing that we can do this in basically about a week. So we said, you know what, we're just going to round it off. So we gave them $10,000. So 56, we went to 10. So when we presented that check to them in the summer, they said, you know what, for 10,000 at that giving level, you can march in with the band.
Oh, wow.
So we marched into the band. They had their pep rally over in Gamecock Park, and we marched in the band. It's just the amazing adrenaline feeling to walk in with 450 people behind you that are playing instruments. It's unbelievable.
I was a marching band member in high school and college, and there's nothing like it. It's really, it is a great experience.
So we were, one more continue this story of the band. So we were invited to another game that current year, and I was like, this is interesting. We're invited to a game. Let's see, I got to figure out this out. So they said, well, you need to come to this game. I said, okay, all right, I'll come. So yeah, okay, we'll be there. So remember, we closed at 6:00 on a Saturday night. So I rushed to the game, get there right at kickoff, and a person with the School of Music said, at halftime, you need to make sure that you're in your seat. I went, okay, I'll be in my seat at halftime. I said, okay. So at halftime, the entire band is on the field, and the band director, Cormac, gets up and says, I just want to let everybody know these 80,000 people, the University of South Carolina marching band is going to Macy's in 2024 to march in the parade. So we say to each other, Stacy and I, we said, let's go help them again.
Yeah.
So we did another fundraiser. So we did this April of 24. We did Britain's Bands Together. So we did a similar fundraiser, but a little bit different. Again, the $500 giving level, different things. So we worked with a couple of vendors on different areas of them making some donations and things. So we raised around $16,000.
Wow.
In 10 days, 2 weeks. So we said, let's give back. So we gave them $30,000.
So you matched it.
On that, we matched it.
Yeah.
So we present that check, and I've got to tell you, is just the enthusiasm of seeing those students. I went to a practice. When they were starting to come in August, they were having band camp, and I went to their practice facility on Sumter Street, and I went, wow, these people are for real. They were already practicing and planning in August of 24 of what they were going to play in the Macy's Day Parade.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So the School of Music says to us, you know what, you're going to be our guest. So we flew to New York. And I remember, I've never missed a Black Friday ever in my career, and I never will. The day after Thanksgiving, the parade is at 9 a.m. in New York City on Thanksgiving Day. And I'll give you one more standpoint, a little tidbit. My wife, Stacy Levinson, she was in the Macy's Day Parade. She was in it. She was in it. She was a clown. She worked for Macy's in their management program on Long Island.
Oh my
and
gosh.
She was a clown in the Macy's Day Parade when she worked in New York City before she came back to Columbia. So we flew up, make it quick, late Wednesday afternoon. Literally, I got a 5 o'clock flight out of Columbia and into New York, 10 o'clock, up the next morning, 7 o'clock. We were invited to be a guest of a alumni member that has a beautiful apartment looking over Central Park. And it was pouring rain.
That's right, it was.
Pouring rain and about 40 degrees. So we're in his nice apartment. So we viewed the parade not only up above. I was invited to go downstairs because there were thousands and thousands of people on Central Park there watching it. So we viewed the parade just to watch them to come down the street is unbelievable. And marching in just totally perfect, and just representing the University of South Carolina and Columbia, South Carolina. It was just amazing to watch that.
And knowing you're a part of that.
Yeah, exactly.
You
right.
were a part of that.
And make it quick. We got our Thanksgiving meal, and I go to the airport at LaGuardia, and I spend the night at the Marriott, back up the morning of Friday morning at 4 on a flight at 6. And I walked in the store at 10:30 on that day.
On Black Friday.
On Black Friday.
You are never going to miss a Black Friday for sure.
I'm never going to miss a Black Friday. So, it's just the excitement, and flying back that Friday morning out of LaGuardia, just to see all the exciting Gamecock, from alumni to parents of students, just the excitement to see them of, representing the University of South Carolina.
Yeah.
And they had actually put in their application 12 times, and they were accepted. This will be the first and the only time. But it is very unbelievably sought after to march in that Macy's Day Parade. It is a major accomplishment from a high school band to a college band, just to represent the University and to represent South Carolina.
And for you and Stacy and Brittons to be a part of that is just amazing.
Yeah.
And what I also think is amazing is that when I was talking to you and Stacy the other day, is that over the last 20 years, you have given away $1 million.
Right at $1 million.
That is incredible. And I don't get the sense that it was a goal for you. It's just something that happened.
Yep.
And when generosity starts, it's a spark.
Yep.
that inspires other people, and you have done that.
Yeah.
It's really amazing. And the local chapter of the Association of Fundraising Professionals, AFP, is going to recognize you and Stacy in their upcoming Philanthropy Day breakfast as Philanthropists of the Year, which I think is extremely well deserved. And many congratulations.
Thank you
on that recognition.
Thank you.
And thank you for being so generous and supporting the community that way.
Yeah.
I know that United Way of the Midlands was a recipient of your generosity during the 2015 floods. We received a $12,000 donation from you at that time. So,
but you're mentioning that, but what we enjoy doing is just we do a fundraiser. We do an amazing event. You're talking about Experience at Brittons. Is we have Christmas in July.
That's my favorite.
Right. It's going on. It's been going on 19 years. 26 will be the 20th year. So we decorate our store for one day. It's Christmas in July. It's hot. It's a July day. And we tie in a fundraiser. And the fundraiser we've been doing for about 5 years is it's getting close to school starting back. So we team up with AC Moore Elementary and also Rosewood Elementary, and you make a donation of $20. We give you an additional discount on sale or regular items, and then in turn, we match it. So what we have done, again, is I go buy gift cards for those 80 teachers at those two schools, and I take them to the school and kick off their school year. But again, it's just giving back, in just a small way to the community. I mean, I believe we raised in that one day $1,400. So we turned around and rounded it off to $3,000. So $3,000 in gift cards to these teachers. And, for them to go buy extra school supplies, or for them to go buy an extra notebook for students that can't afford it.
Right.
But.
And you say you give back in small ways, but Perry, you give back in ways that have a very long-lasting impact. So that's another reason why I think that the Philanthropist of the Year award is very, very fitting for you.
Yeah.
So, Stacy told me a story about you when you actually started your sales career back in I believe it was the 4th grade.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Well, okay. The 4th grade was more of I took it upon myself project. So I was in elementary school, Dutch Fork Elementary, and I just went to my teacher, and I said, I want to have a field trip. And we had 21 people in my home room in fourth grade. And I said, I want to take a tour. I want to line up a tour to the State House. Mm-hmm. Now, I went, again, this is out in the Irmo area. And she says, well, what do you plan to do? I said, well, we're going to have a tour of the State House. She says, well, how are you going to do it? I said, I'll take care of it. So I contacted my representative then, and that district, and I said, I'd like to come and tour. He said, well, these are the 2 dates you can get. I said, all right. So I got permission slips. I had the teacher, hand type permission slips, mm-hmm. and I handed out permission slips for everybody. And I arranged for us to get a Trailways bus.
So not even a school bus?
No.
Charter bus?
Charter bus, Trailways.
Wow.
Yeah. I had my mother take me down to Trailways bus station on Sumter Street and meet the person that was over tours. And my mother and father had to underwrite that. So, yeah, in fourth grade, I'm going to underwrite a trip. So then I arranged for us, after we went on the tour of the State House, we stopped by Rush's on Broad River Road, and we had lunch. And when you pull up with a charter bus of 21 people, it's like amazing that, you're having lunch and you're out of school all day. But I orchestrated all that, collected all the money, had everything, got permission slips, got permission from the district to do that. But I just wanted to take my class on a trip. So that's what I did.
Boy, I tell you, when you set a goal, you are going to meet it, aren't you?
Yeah, I did.
That's amazing. And I think you said that Lisa Gibbons was one of your classmates.
Yeah, Lisa Gibbons was in my graduating class in 1975. And I was involved then in an organization called DECA, Distributive Education Clubs of America. Mm-hmm. We went to the state finals, and I placed number 1 in the state of South Carolina in salesmanship. And she placed number 1 in public speaking for the state of South Carolina. We went to Hollywood, Florida, to represent South Carolina along with 50 states at the Diplomat Hotel in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I boarded a train in the middle of Gervais Street at the old Amtrak station where the Blue Marlin is today.
Ah, that's right.
That was the train station. So we went to Hollywood, Florida. I placed, it was different. You had different, areas of, when you started with 50, then you went to 40, you went to 30, 20, and I was in the final 10.
Wow.
For the country.
Wow.
So I had to take a mobile store. So I had to take actually clothes because they were taping me as I was making my presentation. And they had a customer there, which I didn't know. I mean, I never, again, they're just like basically just walking in, and I'm role playing and everything. But I was like taking from the coat to the pant to the shirt, everything. And I even had to take a cash ticket book.
Wow.
To show them, like one coat, one pant, and it was the whole experience. I even took one of our bags from Brittons to put it in that bag. So it was from the start to the finish, from the experience when you have initially approached the customer to the customer finishing the sale and leaving.
So you were still in high school when you started working at Brittons.
I graduated in 1975, and that's the year I came to work at Brittons.
Yeah. Yeah, and the year you got number 1 salesman through DECA in the state.
Right, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well, you and Lisa both have excelled.
Yeah.
In the areas where you placed first. Yeah. So, why Brittons? Why? What got you started in that field in 1975?
Well, kind of give you my background story is of how I got into fashion. Is I worked for a little men's store at Dutch Square called Richmond Brothers. It was 2 doors away from Brittons. So every day, now that's in 73, right? In 1973, I would walk by Brittons every day. And I would say, wow, those clothes look different in that window than what I'm selling. Mm-hmm. I'm selling a garment that is not the quality of Brittons. Mm-hmm. And I was enjoying working at Richmond Brothers. Learned a lot there. My manager was Mr. Crenshaw, taught me a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot of things about selling. So again, so the second time I would walk by Brittons all the time and say, wow, it really looks different there. So I said, this is in 74. I walked in one day and there was a plaid suit in the window. Never forget this suit. It was a gray plaid suit with a little bit of rust plaid in it. And I walked in and they approached me and I said, I'd like to look at that suit there and a 38 regular. I knew my size and everything. I said, we have it. So I tried it on and I said, wow, this is just so different than what I am used to and also wearing. And so I tried it on and I said, it's $150. I'm selling a $75 suit 2 doors away. I'm saying this to myself.
Right.
Wow, it's different. So again, I tried it on. I put it on layaway. Didn't tell my parents. And I paid $20 every pay period until I got that out. So if my math turns right today, that's 5, that's 6, that's like 7 pay periods for me to get that suit. So I am so proud of that suit. So I get it out. I go home. My parents said, wow, that looks great. Looks amazing. You look, it looks terrific on you and everything. So I wore it to work at Richmond Brothers that Saturday. And Mr. Crenshaw walks up to me and he says, you have something different on today. It's not our suit. I said, yeah, I bought this at Brittons 2 doors away. He said, okay. Now remember, I'm in high school. He says, you need to represent our clothes. I said, okay, that's good. But I was just beaming from ear to ear. So I wore the suit all day. And when I got home that night, I said, I think I'm going to go walk in Brittons next week and ask for a job. I did.
And they gave you one.
Right there.
And here you are.
Yep.
That's amazing. What's it like to work with your spouse every single day?
It's an amazing experience, but we work as a team. It's a team effort. Mm-hmm. She says that she is the producer and I'm the person that gets it done. But it's, we work as a team. That's exactly it. Yeah. We have our strengths and we work off each other's strengths.
Yeah.
But, is it a challenge? Yes, but we've been married 29 years and we love what we do.
And if I'm doing my math right, next year will be your 30th wedding anniversary.
Correct.
30th anniversary of the store being on Divine Street.
Correct.
And the 80th anniversary of Brittons itself.
Yes.
Is that all correct?
That's correct.
So you got a big year coming up next year.
Yep.
Any plans for it yet?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
Not at the moment. I've just celebrated my 50th year at Brittons. Mm-hmm. So not at the moment.
Okay.
Not at the moment.
Can I get a quick time check?
We're at 35 minutes.
We're at 35 minutes? Okay.
35 total, so we're at 34-ish on the...
Okay.
Okay. So, Perry, you give a lot of thought and care to your business. You give a lot of thought and care to your philanthropy. So how do you hope that the next generation that's coming along in Columbia is going to carry on that same spirit?
Well, I feel that you've got to be involved in the community. I mean, you've got to be reaching out and connecting with the community. The great things that United Way has done and is doing, and just connecting with your family, your peers, your business friends, of how you can make a difference in the Midlands. Yeah. is totally it. And then I'm going to also discuss and bring up about shopping local, shopping with your individual merchants that are here, your individual restaurants that are here, the people that give back to the community.
Yeah.
that could I say, not say they have just total connection to the community.
Mm-hmm. One of the things I'm really excited about the Midlands is that when I look at the growth of business over the last 20 years that I've been here in town,
Yeah.
it's really been in the entrepreneurial sector.
Yes.
And while we do have some great, Scout Motors and the School of Medicine and our life sciences industry and all that, and those kinds of things, it really seems like our growth is coming from the entrepreneurial sector. And if that's going to happen, exactly what you said has to occur, which
Right.
is people need to, whether it's a local clothier, whether it's a local restaurant, whether it's a local entrepreneurial IT company or whatever the case may be, we need to be patronizing those businesses
Yes.
because that's where the future of the of our area
It's just,
is.
it's, again, you brought up, a few minutes ago, it's all about the experience of how anything we do, from going to a restaurant, going to an experience in whatever type of, from a retail to whatever. Just giving back of everything that you do.
Yeah.
It's totally it. The United Way has been amazing to partner with so many different things in this Midlands area.
We've been really fortunate. The community is it's a wonderful community to serve, isn't it?
Yes, it is very much. It's very much. And you get really more, could I say, even more inspired when you see other people doing things.
Yeah.
And
For sure.
Sarah, you really brought up a great point. You don't know how things that we do can influence and help other people.
Yeah.
From a giving standpoint to them receiving the gifts or the, great things of that, but then inspiring them to do things different also,
Yeah. Yeah.
or coming up with another different plan.
Yeah.
We are getting ready to do an event for Divine Night Out in a couple of weeks. We work along with Folds of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being so close to Veterans Day, we'll do a event for them. But it's just so many different things that we're involved with.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to be also in the new year. You mentioned our plans for the new year is we're involved in February with Music Fest. It's an event that's being put on by the School of Music at the Koger Center in February. And that is a fundraiser that night to help for scholarships for musical students, from the jazz school to the opera school to the band to every imaginable area with the School of Music. We're involved with that also. We'll be doing an event in our store in January to help fundraise for that event. So
I tell you, you guys just don't stop.
You can't.
You don't stop.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Because, also mentioning that, Sarah, is you always are working to find ways to give back to the community, but different ways to do business.
Yes.
Different
sure.
ways to do business. You have to be creative. Mm-hmm. And as my wife would say, you have to think outside the box.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
And
you really do.
Yeah, and what you're doing today, or you're doing the community of these podcasts, is thinking outside the box, not the same structural thing that you do every day. Just doing a whole different whirl of that.
Well, selfishly, it's a lot of fun because I get a chance to talk to people about things that they don't necessarily get to talk about very much.
Right. Yeah.
So, well, Perry, one of the things that I think we have in common is that we give people dignity and we make them feel seen and heard. We do it in different ways.
Yeah.
But I know that with United Way, what we're trying to do here in the Midlands is create generational change, reach out to people and help them not just improve their life for themselves, but for future generations and the ripple effect that has. And I think that, and we do that with our partner agencies and meeting basic needs, workforce development, all those kinds of good things that we're doing. But I look at what Brittons does, and I think you do something very similar. You give people a sense of personal dignity.
Yeah.
You'd said that earlier, right at the outset of the podcast, and you make them feel seen and heard. And I think that is, that's a gift I think that we give people, is that sense of dignity. So thank you so much for what you and Stacy do personally, what you do professionally through Brittons, the way that you support the community. It has been a real pleasure to be able to have this conversation with you, Perry. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you so much.
And thank you all for watching and listening. Please share, like, comment on this podcast, and we will see you next time. Thank you.